We have two rule books. We have one for the nonprofit sector, and we have one for the rest of the economic world. And I want to look at the way that this separate rule book discriminates fundamentally against the nonprofit sector in a few different areas. The first is in the area of compensation. So in the for-profit sector, the more value you produce, the more money you can make without limit. And we think of this as our code of ethics, without realizing that this code has a very powerful side effect, which is it offers a stark, mutually exclusive choice between doing very well for yourself and your family or doing good for the world. The second area of discrimination is advertising and marketing. So here again, the for-profit sector gets the advantage where we tell it, you go spend on advertising to attract those new customers until the last dollar no longer produces any value. But we don't like our donations spent on advertising in the nonprofit sector. The third area of discrimination is the taking of risk, particularly in the fundraising areas. Here again, the for-profit sector gets the advantage. And the fourth area of discrimination is time. So I used the classic example of Amazon, which went for 6 years without returning any profit to investors, and everyone had patience. They knew that this was a long-term proposition, low prices, high volume, build market dominance. But if a nonprofit organization ever had a dream of building gigantic Amazon-like scale that required, think about this for a second, that for 6 years, no money's going to go to the cause, right? It's all going to be invested in generating this scale. We would expect people to go to prison. And the last area is profit itself. So the for-profit sector can pay people money in order to attract their capital for their new ideas, for their risky ideas, but you can't pay profits in a nonprofit sector. So the nonprofit sector is left with a donation as its only financial instrument. And donors don't want their donations spent on risky, forward-looking things. So the for-profit sector monopolizes the multi-trillion-dollar capital markets. The nonprofit sector is starved for any kind of growth capital or risk capital. And I think what we need to do about it is nothing less than transform the way the donating public thinks about charity. I think we need to return to the wild-eyed dreams that got us into this work in the first place. None of us wants our epitaph to read, we kept charity overhead low, right? We wanted to read that we changed the world.